everybody, welcome to Digging Deeper Jazz. I'm Jeff Antoniuk. Well, I've got a great video for you today. I think this is going to be a really slick technique that takes something you probably already know how to do, or you're going to be able to learn quickly, and recast it, use it in a really different situation. So what I'm talking about is the Minor Pentatonic Scale. It's easier, it's less notes than the blues scale, but how we can use it on a major 7 chord, taking a minor scale and using it in a very interesting place on a major 7 chord. I think you're going to love the sound of this and you're going to get a lot of use on it. A lot of us sound pretty boring when we get to that major 7 chord, right? So yeah, we're going to fix that today. Okay, so our point of departure here is the Minor Pentatonic Scale. So if you look on the sheet here, I've written out the B Minor Pentatonic Scale. It sounds like this. There are literally millions of songs written with the pentatonic scale, and I just quoted one of them, Song from My Father by Horace Silver. I can quote probably 70 or 80 more if you want. We're not going to do that. Okay, so the recipe for this relative to a major scale, it's 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. It's a minor tonality. There is so much great stuff you can play with this, so much blues and so much funk. And yes, classical music uses these scales too. So these scales are not a jazz innovation, not invented by a jazz musician. This stuff existed in many other countries around the world for centuries and centuries before jazz came around. But we certainly use this in our improvisations. So now this is closely connected with the blues scale. So which you can see here, item number 2, the same scale, minor pentatonic, we add one note, the sharp 4, and we get the blues scale. All right, 2 very closely related scales and sounds that we use a lot. And of course, it's always this dark, bluesy, smoky, funky kind of sound. I'm suggesting we can use that sound over a major 7 chord, not getting that bluesy sort of sound. So it's a cool collection of notes. So what we're going to do is stop thinking about those notes in the context of B minor now, or a B7. Now I'm going to suggest let's play that B minor pentatonic scale over a C major 7. That's what I want to do. So now if you look at item number 3 on the sheet, you can see I've taken our B minor pentatonic scale and I've put it with a C major 7 tonality. And we can see that those notes are actually pretty interesting. So what I did there is played that C major 7 on the piano, and I played the notes from B minor pentatonic. And it turns out that B is a major 7. So we get a major 7. We get a 9th, a beautiful color tone in C major. The E is the 3rd, fantastic foundational note. The F sharp, very cool, is a sharp 11. The A from the B minor pentatonic becomes a 13th or a 6th scale degree. So it's this amazing luck of the draw that we get the foundational notes, the B and the E, the notes that say C major 7, the B and the E, the 7th and the 3rd, and then we get all these wonderful other sounds in there. Now, there are some notes missing. That is important. We don't want the C in there. We don't want the G in there. Why is that? That's what makes the pentatonic scale so useful as a melody. Those skips in the scale are important. Those skips are what makes this scale sound like a melody. And I don't really love calling the blues scale a scale. It's sort of a melodic device. It's not really a scale. And I kind of feel the same way about pentatonic. It's a melodic device. Those holes in the scale, those missing notes are really, really, really important. So yeah, we're going to go ahead with that, and we're going to really listen to what this thing sounds like. Before we do that, I want to let you know that I have a webinar, a free webinar for us to do some interacting. It's coming up on Wednesday, April 29th. I think it's going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll let you know in the next upcoming videos. But the idea is I want more ways for us to interact together. That's what I do at Jazzwire. I'm not really interested in talking at people. And yeah, that's what I do every Friday. I'm talking at you. I don't know who's going to watch. I don't know how you're going to take this information. I don't know if you're going to use it the correct way or the wrong way, but I'm talking at you. I don't love that. I don't love teaching at people. I don't love writing a book at somebody. I prefer doing it with people. So of course, the people, the many of you who have come on to work with me at Jazzwire know what I'm talking about, how we get to work together every day if you want, if you have that much, time and drive to do it. So this webinar is going to be a way for us to talk about some of this stuff. So I will be talking live on video. You'll be able to tune in. You'll be able to chat in. You'll be able to text in questions, and I'll have folks reading those to me so we can, you can ask questions. You can ask questions about this particular video, or the one 2 weeks ago, or the one coming up next week. You can ask about Jazzwire, and we'll be able to connect for about 45 minutes. So 2 o'clock New York time on Wednesday, April 29th. Is that right? Yep, I got it right. Cool. Okay, so now let's go back to this sound. And let me play it one more time for you on the piano. So on that C major 7 chord, I started on the 7th scale degree, the B. I played the B minor pentatonic scale, built on the 7th scale degree of the C major chord. If you are playing a G major 7 chord, G major 7, what is the minor pentatonic you play? F sharp, built on the 7th scale degree. So what you have to do is be good at figuring out what is the 7th scale degree of such and such major scale. But hey, you can write it out on your music, right? So this is something I'm going to be working on for sure with the folks in Jazzwire over the coming weeks and coming months. Absolutely. So that is the relationship, okay? And what I love about it, I was just saying, is that you can bring all those melodies you know. All your comfort with the blues now comes, but we get to play it on a major chord and in this cool spot on a major chord. So let me do this. I'm going to play a track, just the first 8 measures of On Green Dolphin Street. Fantastic classic song that many of us have played. And I chose that one because there's a bunch of C major 7, the first 2 measures and the last 2 measures. So what I'm going to do is use this sound over the first 2 measures. I'm going to improvise a little bit over the next stuff where this doesn't apply because there aren't major 7 chords there. And then I'm going to play it over the last 2 measures. I'm going to do that a little bit. First time, maybe I'll sort of quote the melody so you can get the regular sound of a C major 7 in your head. And then you're going to hear me playing B minor pentatonic. And I think you're going to hear what I play is different. I think about different things. I'm playing in a different part of the chord. I'm playing these richer, more interesting notes. Check it out. So could you hear that difference? So when I first started playing, sort of quoted the melody to give you the, just a really good playing inside the chord changes sound. And then I started playing with that B minor pentatonic sound. And immediately the sound was different. And now we try to ascribe, to put words to what the sounds are. It was darker, it was more out, it was more interesting, it was richer, whatever you think. Did you like that sound? If you did not like that sound, don't do this. On to the next video. Cool. But wow, that was a pretty cool, rich sound. And now you have a handle on what some of those great players that you love so much, how do they get that such a cool, amazing sound on just a simple, lowly little major 7 chord? This is one of 100 ways to do it. Yeah, there's lots of other ways to do it. So that's what you do. So first of all, start practicing some minor pentatonic scales. Next, you get good at thinking of a major 7 chord and deciding what its 7th is. So you do that little translation. And then just play a bunch of melodies with minor pentatonic. So I quoted a couple things. I quoted Song for My Father by Horace Silver. I think maybe I played Sunny Moon for 2, a great minor pentatonic melody by Sonny Rollins. That's the way to do it. So I hope I've given you a little interesting way to do this. And what's going to be coming up in the next couple weeks is I'm going to use minor pentatonics and show you how to get a cool altered sound on dominant chords. Yeah, we're using minor pentatonic on major, minor pentatonic on dominant. It's going to be pretty slick. So just write down that April 29th for the webinar, April 29th, what did I say, 2 o'clock New York time. It's going to be live. It's going to be about 45 minutes. And we can kind of hang out and chat together. You can ask questions. You can make requests of videos that you'd like. I think it's a great way for us to get just a little bit more connected. As I said, I don't want to be talking at you so much. Jazzwire is the place for us to get to work together. So I really want you to consider that. There's just nothing better out there if there isn't. So sign up for Jazzwire. And by the way, use the code DIGGINGSPRING. It saves you 50% off the registration fee. Play some minor pentatonic. I'll be looking forward to talking to you about it. Take care.